arguing is not honorable.
Right.
It's like making a statement of fact and claiming it with conviction is honorable.
Right.
But
Because an honorable person, a person with real self-esteem, is someone who really observes reality honestly, and their convictions are in line with reality, and they know it, and they have no doubt. They don't have self-doubt, so they don't need to argue because all they need to do is just say what they know is, and that's sufficient. That's all there is to do, and they're not going to argue and spit about it that someone else doesn't get it. They're just, well, this person's going to get it or they're not.
and this strategy has worked for people who understand all of this, right? And I'm not suggesting anybody go out and try this, but so here's the idea. We'll just use the speeding ticket idea, of course, right? You show up in court,
Mm.
and they say, well, you're 10 miles an hour of the speed limit. Here's your $200 fine. How do you plead? Yeah. Say, Your Honor, I'd like to cross-examine the person that says I caused them wrong or harm, and that, right? Because you haven't caused anybody, right? A crime against the state. There's nobody. The state isn't a thing. It's a fiction,
Right.
right? So you didn't cause the police officer who pulled you over any wrong or harm. So you say, well, Officer Smith, clocked you at 10 miles over the speed limit. So I didn't cause anybody any harm. What's
Right.
the penalty here?
And it's even plausible that it's not a crime because imagine you're out on a deserted road, no one around for miles, and you crank it up over the speed limit. Well, there's nothing wrong with that.
Technically, there's no crime at all if nobody's been harmed,
Okay.
or there was no
I guess
intent to harm.
like if
Right?
you're speeding, dodging through passengers, I'm sorry, not passengers, pedestrians, right? That and you don't hurt anybody. Maybe you could still say there's something wrong there, but
Well, those
there
people
must be
could
some
say
line.
that crazy guy almost killed me. Dart between passengers. So I'm taking him to court, right? For
Oh,
driving
okay,
in this
sure,
way.
right. But
So
but the state can't really do it, right? Who's the state?
right, there's nobody there. So that's why they need a
Okay,
representative, right? They need a representative of the state to talk, to enliven, to put in motion the fictional entity, which is the state. That, of course, would be the
right.
prosecutor.
Okay,
But in traffic court, there's not even a prosecutor. There's just the judge. If need be, the police officer is there to bear witness to your supposed crime. So this method won't work because people have tried it in the past. So I think most of the judges are aware of it. But hopefully you get a sense of
hmm,
where you technically stand correct, saying I didn't harm anybody. If somebody
right,
would step forward and say that I harmed them, I'll be happy to compensate them accordingly
right,
for
right.
whatever harm I caused them. I banged into their car and caused them $1,000 worth of damage.
Hmm.
So this is the idea, right? It's that they're and what they're really tapping into. They're not only are they tapping into your own personal money when you get these fines, but they're also taking out money out of your trust that you don't know about. So that
To
money is
pay
being
for
distributed.
the court fees and stuff.
Pretty much, yeah. That's right.
Okay.
So just showing up, they're making money. Even if
Hmm.
the judge finds you innocent for whatever reason. But you can do a whole host of things. You could say, I wasn't speeding. He must have clocked somebody else. Police officer says,
Hmm.
no, there was no other cars around. I saw some cars around. So that at this stage, it's my word against his word,
Right.
right?
Although,
Right. You could
if you're
say,
honorable, you would be honest.
sure. But I'm just saying this is
So we're assuming the case where there were cars around.
right. And there's a number of different ways you can go at this just to get out of the ticket. But the goal isn't to get out of the ticket. The goal here is to understand, right, what's going on, why it's going
Hmm.
on. We all
Right.
agree that you shouldn't be able to drive 80 miles an hour on your residential street. That's not good for anybody. So this is just a common. Most people have had a speeding ticket in their life, so they understand what the situation is. But
Hmm.
this is again this is traffic court, which is even different than this other admiralty maritime thing I'm almost talking about. But there's all these different types of courts. There's divorce court, there's tax court, there's traffic court, and all of these have little different sets of rules. Family court that are different from what we would expect a lawful procedure to be.
Right.
Which is
so these courts are creations of the legal system based
right.
on statutes.
That's right. They make up the rules. They make up the rules of engagement, the rules of the game, and what you can and can't argue. One of my favorite guys just, he finally arrived at the conclusion that you can't win in these courts. It's because, number one, they're speaking the language you don't understand, which is legalese. You're not expected to understand it. And if you hire an attorney in these situations, he plays in the legalese game, and you're at the mercy of what can be done in this legalese game. And more often than not, if the state has brought charges against somebody for whatever reason, you're going to lose. It's not always the case, but it's more often than not, it's the case. They don't bring cases they don't think they can win. So his general strategy is that you do whatever, even though they bring complaints in the legal system. His strategy is to make a claim against the actual men and women involved in your case. So you don't make a claim against the state of New York or the prosecutor. You make it against John Smith, the man, sometimes acting as the prosecutor, and bring it against Lisa Johnson, the judge. So Lisa Johnson sometimes acting as the judge in such family court and so forth. You actually go after the people.
And for what specifically?
Well, in the most cases is that they're trying to take something from you, right?
Oh, okay.
Your property in some way, right? So they're
coming
after you.
What would that crime be called?
Well,
it sounds like a crime. I just want trespass. Okay, trespass. So trying to take someone's property, it's called trespassing.
That's right.
Right. Okay.
I mean, you can call it stealing or theft or anything else, but the key to understanding this idea is that it's all very simple. There's no reason to complicate things. Say this thing is mine, and no other man or woman has the right to take it away.
Right. And you crooks are formed a little statutory court here. It's just a gang of thugs, and you're trying to do that. So
right.
And I'm suing you two people who are part of it.
Right. If they don't like the way you're behaving, even though you've caused no wrong or harm to anybody, they can take away your stuff.
Right.
And there's
yeah.